It's about week 4, so this real-life episode of Survivor, and if you're hearing my voice, congrats! You haven't been voted off the island of the living. It's a Dose of Buckley live for March 27, 2020, right here as we have been doing live on YouTube every Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. Figure it the fuck out for your time zone. And today, we are going to do our usual thing. We're going to take some calls live here on Discord. You're going to be able to get in on that, join the Discord, and participate in the show. Once again, there is the link, https://discord.gg/KHZB, the number 4, capital M, and a small b. I'm going to have that up on the screen here on YouTube. It'll be there when we're talking about the question, so you can see it there again. Once again, as I mentioned in my last stream, if you can't figure out how to do this, then you're probably too stupid to talk to anyway. So Don't ask me for links, where to post them, anything like that. If you can't type that into a browser and get into the Discord, well, we're not going to talk anyway. So, how do you become a caller? Right here. What you do is, once again, join the Discord. Number 2, this is important. Make sure that your microphone works. Make sure it works on Discord as well. Discord has a setting. You can go in, check your sound settings, make sure that it actually works, okay? So make sure it works. Make sure that you can actually participate if I pick you. And also, I should put it on here on the rules. Make sure you're paying attention to the show, okay? If you're fucking watching TV or doing something else while you're listening to me and you put yourself in the lobby to be chosen, then fucking, I don't know what to tell you. Pay the fuck attention to be on the show. Number 3, I'm going to change this one a little bit, but type pick me or something like that in the general channel. When we get to the actual topic today, we will actually be asking, I'm going to ask you for your actual opinion on that before we actually choose people. I'm saying actually a lot, whatever. And so we'll get to the topic in a second. Then join the lobby channel. To do that, all you got to do is click on the lobby. Okay, so that's all you've got to do is just click where it says lobby on Discord. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then you're not on the Discord. And if you are on Discord and you still don't know what I'm talking about, again, we're not going to chat, okay? It's all very simple shit here. And then finally, I will move people to the Buckley chat to be a caller. So you don't get to call me. People have been trying to call me on Discord to actually get me to pick up or something. Not going to be doing that. So in order to get on, again, you're going to type something in the general chat, and then we'll see if you are actually someone that I want to talk to, okay? So that's how we're going to do things today. So today's topic, we're going to do one topic today because I'm going to actually try and get this thing down to an hour instead of an hour and a half. We're going to do Q&A Russian Roulette at the end. But today's topic, grocery store employees, the MVPs of 2020 or overrated. You may have heard some of the news about how various grocery store chains are treating their employees or mistreating their employees in some ways, but some of the ones that are doing some good stuff, we'll talk a little bit about that in a little bit as well. They're being called essential workers now, essential employees. Certainly not something you would have heard maybe 2, 3, 4 weeks ago, right? So we're going to talk about that, and I want to know, do you actually believe that they are super essential, that they should be getting these bonuses, or are you like, okay, like they're still at the end of the day grocery store employees, let's just relax a little bit? That's what I want to know. And I think that we'll get some interesting opinions on that, hopefully. But first, before we start with that, about a month ago, I did a video about Jake Paul's new online school, if you recall, the Financial Freedom Movement. The video was called Professor Jake Paul. It was on YouTube there, so check that out if you haven't. But to recap, Jake Paul was unhappy that the traditional education system did not teach kids practical skills, like, for example, how to get a renter's lease on a several $million-dollar house in Los Angeles for you and your idiot friends to party in and make YouTube videos out of. But no, he's upset, like so many other people, that high school spends so much time on a lot of various subjects you'll probably never use, right? While ignoring basics like mortgages, what to look out for when you're getting insurance or buying your first car or your first home, things like that. So his response was to start an online school that teaches you how to be a YouTuber. He's upset about all the practical skills that they're not teaching, so why not teach the most practical one at all, right? Well, a month ago, we could all laugh about this, but maybe he's the one laughing now that all of our jobs are shut down and social media influencers are the only ones who haven't experienced any real disruption to their lives. They were just staying at home making videos or taking pictures of themselves anyway. But, you know, I'm still going to fucking laugh about it because it's pretty ridiculous. So I wanted to do a follow-up video, but instead I thought, hey, I'm already going to be doing this live show. Why not just do it right here on YouTube Live? So first off, as I predicted, there has already been a change on the website. So we'll start here at launch. You may have seen in my video, and I talked about this in the video, that all these logos at the top were on the website. He had put, Forbes, Walt Disney Company, ABC, MTV, CBS, and CNBC. These logos were plastered at the top of this Financial Freedom Movement website, right? Now, I had suggested that perhaps these companies didn't know that they were on here and probably didn't know that, or probably certainly didn't pay to be on here and certainly are not endorsing the financial freedom movement. I can't imagine that they are, but hey, maybe I'm wrong, right? A lot of these old time companies now trying to finally realize that, hey, there's a lot of money to be made on YouTube, off of YouTubers, right? Of trying to get these people groomed for their actual services, perhaps, but perhaps not, right? So that was the website at launch. You can see that there right now on your screen. And now all of those logos are gone. You could go to your, you go to that website right now. It's, I think, financialfreedommovement.com. You could go on there and you would definitely be able to see that all those logos are completely gone off the website now. So, oh, I wanted to also mention this too, is you could see on the write-up, right? It says, they tell us to go to college, get a job, retire at 65. How's that working out for us? There's over $1 trillion in student loan debt and people with outdated education who can't even get a job for the student loans they took out that now haunt them for life. Maybe you're too young to have experienced this yet, but if you're not, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. This part disturbs me. Maybe you're too young to have experienced this yet. So he knows, Jake Paul knows his audience, right? And his audience is a bunch of 13, 14-year-olds. And these are the people that he is targeting with his financial freedom movement. He wants these kids, or probably more likely these, the parents of these kids, to pony up $20 a month to sign up for his YouTube, masterclass, right? To teach people how to become like Jake Paul, which is, exactly what the fucking world needs more of. So I decided to do a little bit of investigative journalism. So via some Wikipedia research, I looked up where Jake Paul lived as a young man. It's right there. I mean, this guy is not private. He's posted his fucking current address online. And I think it was either Jake or Logan Paul that did that, or they live in the same house, or who the fuck knows what they're goddamn doing, right? But either way, these are not private people. They want their whole lives on display for everyone. But I looked up high schools in the area of where Jake Paul and Logan Paul originally lived. Lucky for me, he grew up in a town that has one high school. Now, unless he bust out of the city to a different high school or something like that, the high school that he went to, I'm moderately sure that I found the one that he went to. So I emailed their principal to ask for a statement, and naturally, I did not receive an answer back. But here's the email. So I'm going to omit their name and the school's name. It's super easy to find if you really care, but just don't, okay? Like, don't go trolling or being a nuisance. This is one thing I fucking hate about YouTube audiences sometimes, is that they go out of their way to be a fucking nuisance to people. I can't fucking stand that. So don't do that. Be better than that. But here's the letter. My name is Adam Buckley, and I run an op-ed YouTube channel with a reach about 580,000 subscribers. That's my nice way of describing what it is that I do. I'm currently researching for a video about Jake Paul. While I'm sure you can't confirm or deny any students' enrollment at blank, my question is more surrounding the curriculum. Mr. Paul contends that high schools are not teaching practical skills, which has motivated his decision to start his own online program to teach kids about financial freedom. I was wondering if you could provide any sort of statement about the practical programs or units your school does teach. For example, in my research, I saw that you had a program called Know Your Home, which teaches the basics of home repair and construction technology, as well as programs entitled Entrepreneurship and Financial Life Skills. I'd be interested specifically if any program curriculum includes any units on doing personal taxes, the basics of mortgages, an introduction to investing, that sort of thing. Thank you for your time. My name again, so on and so forth. So this is the letter I sent. As again, you could imagine, I did not get a response. The principal at this high school, I'm sure, had no interest in talking to some asshole on the internet. So this is where we are. But I wanted to share with you some of the different class offerings. Okay, so here's what we got. Number one, okay, accounting. So this is accounting 2. There's, of course, accounting 1. Students will expand upon their knowledge of accounting 1 by discussing special journals, cash payments, cash receipts, subsidiary ledgers, payroll tax accounting, depreciation methods, inventory methods, worksheets, financial statements, and adjusting/closing entries within a departmentalized merchandising business. Partnership and corporate accounting methods will also be discussed within each of these topics. Students will generate information within their workbooks and through their use of computerized accounting software. Students will complete an accounting simulation that summarizes the concepts discussed in class. Sounds boring as shit. Accounting sounds boring as shit. What are you going to do? But that's example number 1, okay? So an 18-week course, and this is an option that you could take apparently at Jake Paul's school and Logan Paul's school. I guess they went to the same school, right? Then we have Know Your Home. This is the one I mentioned in the letter to the principal. I wanted to know a little bit more about this. I didn't get any more information about it other than what they already have on their website. So we have Know Your Home is a course where students will learn about home repair and construction technology to solve practical problems found in the home. The course is modular based. Students will spend 1 quarter on construction technology and the next quarter on home repair. Subjects covered in the construction technology portion include, but are not limited to, electrical, plumbing, framing, trimming, roofing, siding, drywall, green building, and new and emerging construction technologies, right? So again, this sounds like some practical learning. I don't know if this is stuff that you would necessarily use in your home at all times, but depending on, again, what exactly they're teaching. Are they teaching you how to fix a leaky sink on your own, or a stopped drain, or things like that, right? I don't know how much framing you're going to be doing or how much roofing you're going to be doing, but if these are very basic things that they're teaching you that the average person could do without destroying their whole fucking house, then certainly that's pretty interesting that they have this course here. Know Your Home 2 builds upon this, and this one mentions that there are other fees that may be charged for projects beyond the scope of normal material usage. Students will be responsible for materials for the furniture project. So one of the things is that you will design and construct a piece of furniture for your home in this one. That's a pretty interesting little piece of work. And I mean, I don't know, again, how super practical learning to build your own, I don't know, chair or build your own end table is, but I built an end table in a shop class in my high school days, and we're talking that was 96, 97, I think that I was taught how to do that. Of course, I don't know how to do it now, but we were shown how to use all the different tools and machines, and we had a really decked out machine shop to be able to do that kind of stuff. So again, another practical course that apparently Jake Paul claims that they didn't have any of these types of things in high school. They didn't teach you how to do anything practical. So we also have Design Squad. This one sounded kind of interesting. This one says, it's a class where students will brainstorm, design, build, and test a different engineering activity every single week. The Design Squad class is modeled after the popular TV show. This class, by the way, I've never heard of this TV show. Apparently it's popular. So I don't know if you guys know anything about this. Is this an actual class? I mean, sorry, is this an actual show, and is this a good show? Is it popular that people actually know what this is? I don't know. This class will give students an opportunity to explore engineering as problem solving using concepts in science, math, and technology. This class will demonstrate that engineering is a creative career where you get to work on solve interesting problems. They probably should have said solving. I guess they should have had one of their English teachers look at these descriptions first, and design things that matter. This course is geared especially for the incoming freshmen to experience engineering, design, and investigate and solve challenging problems. So the idea is that every week they come up with some new challenge, and these students have to solve that challenge. So that's, again, kind of interesting. Various practical skills, I'm sure, being taught, and eventually, hopefully, those practical skills will be used in other ways. Because this is the other thing that a lot of people don't think about when you're going to high school. A lot of people don't think about all the other shit that you learn things, but you're supposed to eventually think about how you can use those in other ways, right? So People don't do that all the time. A lot of times people just think, oh, well, this doesn't work, so I don't understand this, so I'll never use this. And then that's it, right? We also have entrepreneurship. I'm going to try and go a little bit quicker through some of the last ones here, but entrepreneurship teaches you various things about becoming an entrepreneur, right? So interestingly enough, Jake Paul fashions himself an entrepreneur. He has built his own business. He has his YouTube channel. He's got, now his financial freedom movement. He's got all of these other things. Here's a course that he could have taken possibly, and it mentions as part of the Believe in Ohio program. You already knew these again, you can just look this shit up. But anyway, students will have the opportunity to develop a business plan and compete against students within class in Northeast Ohio. So again, competing, one would hope perhaps, now this is where he's all pissy about this, is that that no one who's teaching these courses has any real experience. This is his claim, right? Because obviously most of the time you get a high school teacher. A high school teacher has gone to school to learn how to teach, and then they teach, right? They don't have other real world experience. So it would be hoped that the judges in this competition would be other entrepreneurs around the area that could help mentor these people and explain why their business plan might not be good, where it could use improvement, or what is really good about it, right? So that kind of thing. Then we have financial life skills. Now, how about this? Financial life skills. These are the things that apparently you're not being taught in high school, but it will explore how employment, financial and money management, credit and bankruptcy, insurance, marketing concepts, and theories affect their financial lives. The idea of this course is designed for those students who have a desire to develop or improve upon their personal finance literacy skills. So again, Jake Paul says that these things aren't being taught in school, but here it is. This is the actual, thing that's going on here at this school. And I think I had one more. I did. How about this one? Sports and entertainment marketing. Okay, another 18-week course. Students enrolled in sports and entertainment marketing will explore and understand the sport and entertainment industry. The course will cover the many facets of each industry, including sports/entertainment law and the legal aspects of each activity, sport and entertainment marketing and promotion, the role of ethics in sports and entertainment, the economics and finance of the sports and entertainment industries, so on and so forth. Now, don't know if you know this, Jake Paul, a member of the fucking entertainment industry. So, it stands to reason that a marketing course about entertainment might have been a good idea for him to take. But obviously, it didn't matter to him. He didn't give a shit. And who knows if he even knew that these courses were being offered. Because it does seem like they do offer some interesting practical classes, assuming that they're executed well. But again, there's a lot of reading to do here. And considering Jake Paul got his start on Vine, where videos were like 6 seconds or whatever, you can understand that he probably did not have the attention span to go through all of this. But of course, the curriculum does not include a class called How to Become the World's Biggest Douchebag and Make a Fuckload of Money Off It. But I don't even know if that's a skill that can be taught. It might have just been one that Jake Paul was born with. Once again, welcome to A Dose of Buckley Live for March 27th, 2020. We do this every Friday night on YouTube, and we are going to get to tonight's topic. Before I do that, I do want to go over the generous supporters that are supporting me here on Patreon and on YouTube, but you can support me at patreon.com/doseofbuckley, and you get access to all of my videos early. My current musical autopsy is already up and available for you to watch if you are a Patreon subscriber. Otherwise, well, you got to wait till tomorrow, maybe around 4 or 5 p.m., whenever I get around to posting it. And so all of these people and many others are already able to enjoy that musical autopsy. I post bonus content once a week so far. I've been able to connect with that goal that I've been trying to do. I believe that next week I'm going to do another episode of Patreon Goes Postal. And so I'll be answering questions on that have been submitted to me. It ended up being like 20, 25 minutes long. So all sorts of content there for you. And that's what's going on there on Patreon. Again, early access, all that stuff, plus access to the Discord, which gives you your name in red. I guess that's cool. But also access to other Patreon channels specific to those people. And then you also get potential access to chat with me from time to time. I do drop into the Patreon channels to say hello and, just chat about whatever the fuck's going on. Here are some more of the supporters so far who have been kind enough to drop me a few bucks, and especially appreciate it, of course, in these trying times where everyone is maybe tightening their belts or whatever. Obviously, I'm sure that there's obviously a lot of people still working here in Ontario. Our premier, we call it a premier. I guess it's very similar to in the US what a governor is, right? So the premier of Ontario, Doug Ford, he recently announced all the businesses that are essential, the essential businesses that need to stay open. And it ended up being a list of like 72 different fucking categories. We're talking like pretty much every business. If you're not like a comic book store, then you're pretty much essential. It wasn't just limited to grocery stores and drugstores, but all sorts of manufacturing, all sorts, and just every manufacturing. We're not talking about manufacturing specific to, we're talking like office supply stores because, these offices, people are going to be working from home. And I get it, I guess, right? I don't know. I don't know what the actual sweet spot is for trying to sort out how to shut down the entire economy versus shutting down, people moving and not spreading the fucking virus, right? But it is what it is, I guess, and that's what Doug Ford has decided to do for now. But essentially, like, everything is still pretty much fucking open here. So again, getting back to that, I do appreciate those of you who have managed to support me here at patreon.com/doseofbuckley. One of my Patreon subscribers just mentioned that liquor stores are essential in Texas. In Ontario, yes, liquor stores have also been deemed essential here, and also the weed stores. So legalized marijuana here in Ontario, and all of the dispensaries have also been deemed essential services. So good stuff. So let's get on to today's topic and start taking some calls. We're already 25 minutes in. I'm way behind schedule. But grocery store employees, the MVPs of 2020, or just fucking overrated. So, other day, I get like 4 different emails from grocery store chains. I got to really stop giving my email address to everyone. But here in Canada, one chain announced that they would be giving 15% raises temporarily to all of their store and warehouse teams. That was the PC group. That includes Shoppers Drug Mart. That includes Loblaws. If you're not Canadian, you have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. But all of those chains all fall under PC. I believe that this also included No Frills, but I can't be 100% certain because of the way that No Frills are set up. But either way, definitely includes Loblaws, definitely includes Shoppers Drug Mart, and 15%. So if you're making minimum wage, which here in Ontario is $14, 15% works out to a $2 and I think $2.10 raise. If you're making minimum wage, if you're making more than that, then it certainly comes out to more than $2 because that's how math works, right? So, there was another store. Another store is offering a $50 bonus weekly to all store and warehouse employees, plus $2 an hour extra after working 20 hours. I believe that was Sobeys. Don't quote me on that, but quote me on it anyway, whatever the fuck. I'm the one saying it live on YouTube here. So, $50 bonus weekly to all store and warehouse employees, plus $2 an hour extra after working 20 hours. If you do the math, obviously, that first 20 hours, if you're working, $50 bonus is more than $2 an hour. So, that's a pretty good deal. Well, another store said they'd give an extra $2 an hour to their employees. I forget exactly who it was that was saying that, but another grocery store chain, they just said flat $2 an hour extra to their employees. I believe Sobeys actually, and we'll get to that in a second, but Sobeys is referring to it as hero pay or something like that, right? They're calling all their grocery store employees heroes. They also promised various wage protections if they get sick or had to isolate. So, as I mentioned, Ontario, minimum wage is $14 an hour. So, the minimum a grocery store employee would be making at this point is $16 an hour. And some grocery stores here are unionized while others are trying to keep unions out and do so by paying better wages. So, there are some people who, with this raise, are probably making $20, $22 an hour, maybe more. And we're talking checkout clerks and shelf stockers making somewhere in the vicinity of $16 an hour to $22 an hour here in Ontario. So, 2 months ago, if I had asked you, are grocery store employees worth $15 to $20 an hour, I think I would have had answers ranging from hell no to fuck no. So, this is what I'm asking you guys right here in the Patreon. If you want to be a part of the show here, if you want to get on and talk to me, has your opinion changed? Should any wage increases for these employees be temporary, or should it be permanent? Have we learned that all of these people are actually essential and hey, maybe they should have been paid more to begin with? Or do you think, you know what? It's their job. They knew what they were getting into. Some of you who are still COVID deniers, I suppose, that are still like, oh, it's just like the flu. Well, some people believe that, you know, obviously grocery store employees were always potentially, you know, coming into contact with sick people throughout the year. So it's certainly possible that this has always been their job, and that's what you believe. So that's what I want to know. So don't tell me you have an opinion on Discord. This is what people are saying. They're just saying, pick me. No, what I want to know from you, what is your opinion? And then I'll decide whether or not that I want to talk to you. And once again, you do have to be in the lobby for me to pick you. So be in the lobby and then do that. So we got some people. We'll start with Beep Boop. Oh, there you are. Hey, Beep Boop. Can you mute me? Yeah, there we go. We got some people. No. We'll start with Beep Boop. Oh, there you are. Hey, Beep. All right.
Hi, how you doing?
Beep Boop. Hey, how's it going? So I realized I had my mic muted in the Discord anyway. How you doing? Oh, you still there? Having some trouble right off the bat, as we normally do here on...
Are you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, so you have to listen to me through Discord, right? YouTube, there's a delay.
As we normally do on... Are you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I can't hear you. What the heck?
All right, well, we're going to have to just move you out for a second. So let's try, maybe let's try someone else here. So we'll try Iron Dog 2011. Are you there, Iron Dog 2011? Hello. Maybe it's me today. I have no idea, but I guess we're not going to talk to them either. So again, you got to be paying attention if you want to be in this, right? You got to be paying attention to the Discord, not to the YouTube. So let's try Meal Moore. Are you there, Meal Moore? Can you hear me? And this is a fucking disaster so far today. So this is going very well. But I saw your mic unmute. Meal Moore, are you there? I can see your ring is turning green, suggesting that maybe you're trying to talk to me, but I cannot hear you. So this is going very well so far. Fuck me right fucking sideways. God damn it. All right. Well, this is probably the fucking worst radio show of all time. You know, we did this. I've done this 2 weeks in a row, and it has worked. So I'm not really sure if I've just gotten lucky so far, but Iron Dog believes that their mic is working. So I'm going to try them again, but it's so far not looking good for you there, Iron Dog 2011. So I don't know what to tell you, but it's definitely not working. Let's try Daniel. Are you there, Daniel? Can you hear me? Holy fuck. 4 in a row, eh? Whew. Well, I don't know what's going on, but these people are not responding to me. So we'll try Iron Dog, I guess, again. Hey, I can hear you now. Can you hear me, Iron Dog?
Yes, I can.
Hey, so it does work. You guys all just fucking suck. You're fucking losers, every single fucking one of you. Get your shit together. Fuck me. All right, hey, let's talk. Iron Dog, what's your opinion on this shit?
I mean, I think that they could definitely use like the extra money because like I can only imagine that it's a lot more hectic right now, but I've worked retail for 5 years before and like it's still part of the job. Like you're going to come in contact with people and getting sick is a risk, obviously.
Now, keeping in mind that the potential, most people who work retail, not maybe necessarily, but a lot of people who work in retail are relatively young. But that being said, this is not your, well, I don't know, I guess that's maybe your opinion, but this isn't your average, sickness, right? You're not going to catch a cold from a person right now. We're talking about the potential for catching and spreading a global pandemic that is, even putting 20-year-olds in the hospital.
Yeah, it's definitely more serious than like the common cold, but it's still like you got to do your job one way or another, so they might as well get paid extra for it. But I think as soon as like quarantine's over, I think it should go away.
You think?
Like,
okay.
I don't think that we should be paying people $20 an hour for basic work like that. Like it's not. That's just my opinion, obviously. But.
No, for sure. So, so you feel this is where the line is drawn. Once we have sort of gotten this under control, once everything kind of goes back to normal, then fuck them. They go back to their regular wage. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, like once essential businesses and stuff or non-essential businesses are back, then I think that's the line. Like,
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I appreciate the opinion here, Iron Dog, and also thank you for proving to me that everyone else fucking sucks, and I got my shit together with the Discord.
Yeah, it was a problem on my end. I had push to talk on, and I didn't realize that. So,
all right. Well, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And yes, that is also a problem. So make sure that you actually have your fucking push to talk. If you have it on, that you know how to use it. So there is a button. I believe you can set it, but I don't know what it is. I don't use it. So figure that out for yourself as well. I want to talk to Louise Sensius. I don't know if I'm saying that right at all because Louise, I don't know if that's how I'm supposed to be saying that, says that old people should not be out working at grocery stores right now. And I'm hoping that they can hear me and could actually be involved. I don't know. Oh, there you are.
Howdy.
All right, can you hear me there?
I can hear you.
Excellent.
For some damn reason.
So here's the question.
But the weather, huh?
You mentioned that in the chat here on Discord that you don't believe.
Why the fuck can't I hear it?
You're having trouble hearing me, are you? All right. Well, I'm gonna have to let you go then for now, but we'll circle back to Louise there for a second, but see if we can't get another person on here. How about this person, DG2 or something? I don't know what your fucking name's supposed to be. DeGill. Hello. That's it. DeGill, are you there?
Hello, Buckley.
What is going on? You said also you're a person who believes that it should be temporary as well?
Yes. I've worked retail for about 8 months out in Tennessee in one of the Publix, and especially given what I'm seeing out here in California, because I move around a fair amount a lot, but given what I've seen out here with the shortages, it's absolutely an essential service because of the pandemic right now. But when the pandemic goes away, or when it eventually sets itself right, then yeah, it really should go back down.
Okay, so because here's the interesting thing, in my opinion, I guess, is that I think the grocery store employees could potentially have their owners by the nuts when this goes away. Because now one could suggest, and I'm sure you're suggesting this, I mean, this is apparently about a once in 100-year thing, at least as we've known it for now, right?
Right.
So, one could argue then, yes, that, okay, so once in 100 years, we're going to need you to really fucking step up your game and be here and put yourself in the line of fire. But at the same time, at the end of the day, once this all goes away, it's not going to be a problem. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, if history is anything to go by, this stuff just kind of keeps on happening. So the smarter grocery store people and essential people will sort of save money in the long run and try and just keep themselves and have themselves ready for if and when something like this happens.
Now, do you think that the hazard pay that's being offered by some of these places is high enough? So currently, do you work retail? I guess is my first question. And you said you've worked it for several years. Are you still working in retail?
I worked at it for several months out in Tennessee. I'm not sure
okay.
if you would count being a theater person, because I used to work at a movie theater for about 2 years, but non-essential business, so that's gone away now.
Right. So,
but
what's minimum wage in your area, if you don't mind my asking?
In California, I believe it's somewhere around 12.
Okay. So, would you go to work for a grocery store for $14 an hour right now?
Without question. Right now, I'm a student at Loyola Marymount, so it's kind of awkward, the position I'm in. I would love to work somewhere as long as they're willing to work around my schedule, but yeah, I'd be happy to work for 14.
All right. Well, I know that apparently a lot of these places are now going to be hiring some more temporary laborers, probably as some of them get sick and things like that, unfortunately. But
yeah, a couple of them caught my eye.
Yeah. So, well, there you go. Maybe there'll be some options for you there.
Fingers crossed. And also, just a quick thing. My name is D. Gill. D. Gill Harji.
D. Gill. Well, thanks, D. Gill, for joining the chat tonight.
Thank you, Buckley. You're my favorite YouTube shock jock.
Wow, how about that? So, that was D. Gill. So, still looking for some opinions on. I'd like to hear from people who are just like, fuck these people, But how about this? Voyager 2 has a hot take on this, if I can get them on. So, Voyager 2, are you there? You mentioned that.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, so you're saying that maybe they shouldn't get a raise at all, just a hazard check for the time being.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, like I said in the chat, they might, like the higher wages.
So yeah, so you're saying that if they get accustomed to it, which I'm sure they will, right? We're talking people who are now going to be working, not just getting an extra couple dollars an hour, but probably also who maybe were part-time that are now being moved up temporarily to full-time. So they're gonna be seeing some pretty big increases in those paychecks. And do you think that those people are going to just say at the end of this, oh well, that was fun for a month or two, and everyone else, and now I'll go back to making nothing?
Yeah, absolutely. I used to work at a fast food restaurant, and for a while we were getting that because I think my school was seeing like a whooping cough mini pandemic of some sort, and everybody was nobody wanted to come into work, and the few of us that did, we got a weekly sickness check. That's what it was actually called, and it was pretty nice. But a lot of people were complaining that they'd love to keep that full time, which obviously we didn't get.
Right. So now this is what's also interesting is that I've only heard about this from grocery store employees so far. I haven't heard anything from, say, McDonald's, or now again, I just maybe haven't seen it or heard it, but I haven't heard anything from any of the fast food restaurants offering any additional pay, hazard pay, anything like that?
Yeah, I haven't either. I think maybe because fast food has always sort of been there, while grocery stores are getting swamped right now. Whereas you can't even go into a fast food place, so it's really the same experience for everybody. Only now people are slightly more cautious when touching strangers.
Right, yeah, and hopefully, I guess so. I haven't heard. I've been to, like, since this whole thing started. I'm fucking like, should I go to any fast food places? It's really it's really been helpful for me to remember how to cook things for myself. That's been really helpful. But in the last probably like month, I think I've had Wendy's once, and they were wearing gloves. The counter people, or sorry, not the counter, because we weren't able to go into the counter, but the drive-through people, they had gloves on, and I don't know about masks or anything like that, if any people were wearing masks, but there was, I think I saw one person in there wearing a mask, and I have no idea if that's what's going on at other places. And I went to a pizza place, a local pizza place here, and it's really fun to go when it's the little things that you take for granted sometimes when you think about it. Because before, when I wanted to go get fucking pizza, I didn't have to weigh the pros and cons of whether or not I was going to fucking potentially die after eating a fucking pizza. So that was fun. But they were wearing gloves. Everyone was wearing gloves in the store, and the driver was wearing a mask. When I saw them come out, I always go out to get pizza. I know I probably shouldn't be given the current situation, but I don't like getting delivery, and I feel like having another person touching it can't be better. And the place was fucking empty anyway. So you raise a good point, I guess, is that grocery stores right now swamped, and fast food places you can't even go in. You're already probably at least arm's length away.
Yeah, I went to buy just some simple groceries. It was really just a couple cereal boxes, and we were all lined up. Some of us were lined up, and one of the 3 cashiers open, and the cashier told us to stand back, and that's what's been happening. On the pizza and fast food note, I actually started driving DoorDash recently to to help with this, and I've been wearing gloves on my part, and I've seen all the fast food places wearing gloves too. And people, even if you don't, it doesn't really matter, because people usually tell you, "Oh yeah, no, it's fine. Just leave the food outside, please. I don't want to talk to you or see you even." Right.
Well, I appreciate your call then, Voyager 2.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here, man.
I cut you off. All right, so let's talk to... see if we can get this person on, maybe. Because...
hello.
Hey, what is your name here? Matthew MWPS.
Hello. Give me a second.
No.
Okay,
what are you doing?
there we go.
Oh, okay, there we go. Hey, Matthew MWPS. What's that part stand for, by the way?
It's the slang of my old primary school.
The slang of
because I was lazy.
Oh.
It's Mount Whale. I'm not going to say anything actually.
All
But
right.
long story short, no one uses it, so I keep it.
Cool. Well, you have yourself a little take on here. You said that. Well, I'll let you say it.
So, everyone's been saying the grocery workers are the ones that need the pay rise, but can we take a moment to appreciate the fact that doctors and nurses and all that go into a spot where everyone is going to, whether or not they have the virus? It's like a dead zone, and they have to go through all that shit daily. If anything, they deserve the pay rise more than the grocery workers.
Perhaps now, I guess, keeping in mind that, for example, doctors and nurses have already signed up for a job where they know that they'll be around sickness. And I guess the other part is that now where are you from, by the way, there, Matthew?
I'm from the good old Australia.
Good
Land
old
down
Australia.
under.
Holy shit, what time is it there? It's like fucking 6 in the morning or some shit.
No, it's 10:45 in the morning.
10:45 in the morning. Oh, so it's early. You guys are Fucking Australians can sit and listen to me with their fucking Vegemite breakfast, whatever the fuck you guys have.
Yes, this is one of the few things that is very conveniently timed. I'm actually quite happy about that.
Oh, well, how about that? Now, I don't know enough about Australia, but how well are nurses paid there, for example?
I'll be honest, I don't know the specifics, but I do know. But I'm just saying in general, if anyone should get a pay rise, it should be those kinds of people. Because, like, the idea of that pay rise should be that it's helping support you more because you're in a situation where you're more at risk. That's why people like constructive workers get a higher pay rise than people who will do, grocery.
Okay, well, I think that obviously the idea behind it is to give an extra boost to people who normally aren't in the line of fire, right? Like you don't give a soldier an extra money to go and fight a war. They signed up for it, right? But if you were to ask someone else, maybe a journalist who their job normally is to go and interview fucking idiots on the street about things, and you say, I mean, now there are such things as combat journalists and whatever, right? But you send fucking, who am I thinking of? Anderson Cooper out to cover a war, and he's going to be in a fucking potential combat zone. He probably should get more money because that's not normally what he does, right?
I suppose, but you can't also say that this situation is exactly normal to begin with. Like, we've had plenty of situations where, yes, it's still, like, a dangerous zone because people will be coming in with germs and stuff, but nowhere near to this extent. Like, this is an extreme that I don't think anyone was expecting. I'm surprised we haven't... I went to get my blood test on Saturday, and they were borderline wearing hazmat suits, they had masks, they had gloves. We gave them a piece of paper, and they didn't even touch it with their hands, they used a tissue on it. Again, I was very surprised they didn't just bring in biohazard suits. Well, people are treating this pretty seriously, especially, I guess, I don't know how, I haven't looked at Australia's numbers, but I do know that, they were early on, it was being mentioned that they were starting to take things pretty seriously. And early on, we were seeing them start with the fights over toilet papers in the aisle, so... Yeah, I think we would have one of the first people that had it. Right. Let me tell you, as someone, I do work at a grocery store. We always have to put toilet paper up, like every day. There's toilet paper to go up on the top of the shelves as extra. We went from that to we got some in at 5 p.m. We sold out at 6 p.m. So it's fucking crazy. Well, yeah. So wait a minute. You work in a grocery store? Is what you're saying? Every now and then. Every now and then. Keep doing it. And yeah. So you're like, fuck it. I don't want any extra money. Is that what you're telling me? Well, for start, I haven't actually been there. I haven't been there since Christmas. Oh, okay. Well then. Between figuring out what the fuck to do with university and them not rostering me on in general, I've just been kind of chilling at home, figuring out what the fuck's going on. All right. Well, again, appreciate the difference of opinion there. Thanks there, Matthew. No worries. Thanks for having me. Yeah. So, all right. Well, I bet this is going to be a pretty hot take, but sure. I got a person. You know what? I'm not going to say your name, but I've got a person on right now. If they can hear me, they were in the lobby. They got an opinion. Ready to hear it if they want to offer it. So far, not really getting anything, but no. Okay. Well, it doesn't matter then. This person had suggested that they can go fuck themselves. So whatever. What else do we got here? I don't know if I got any other opinions on this. Here we go. Let's talk to a Canadian, possibly. Canadian BHB. Are you there? Canadian BHB.
Yes, I am, Buckley.
What is going on?
Not much, man. Just chilling out in Calgary, doing absolutely nothing with my life. In Calgary.
So, you said that you worked at a grocery store and that you're a chef now, and you believe that this is definitely reasonable. Now, I don't know, how is Alberta? What's minimum wage there?
Right now, we're sitting at $15 an hour.
$15 an hour. Leading Ontario. That must feel good, right? Because Albertans don't necessarily enjoy Ontarians. Is that correct?
Well, we do like to think of you as the center of the universe that we never want to travel to. So,
right. Yeah. A little bit of a rivalry there. So, so you feel that these men and women working there, braving the ill, they deserve what they're getting.
Well, hell yeah, these guys, the jobs get hazard pay. Like when military people get deployed, they get a bump in their pay because they're going to a combat zone. You know, construction workers, they get hazard pay because, you know, they're climbing up, say, a high rise or something like that, if I can do some welding or something like that. You know, you've got all these people out there, like doctors and nurses. While in Alberta, they're getting defunded and fucking paid shit. Like, my doctor gets paid $36 a patient, and out of that, she has to pay her freaking rent, her employees, and all of her freaking utilities and all that jazz, leaving her whatever the hell she gets left over. But you've got these grocery workers that go into work that were making minimum wage. Now, get me wrong, $15 an hour is a pretty decent wage. It's not great, but you can survive on it. You're not going to be buying a house or anything, but you'll live.
Because this is the thing, so I just want to cut you off real quick here, but Americans, for them, they don't understand this, right? Because $15 an hour, a lot of Americans who are like working in places that where fucking minimum wage is like $6 an hour doesn't exist. They're like, holy shit, $15 an hour. But maybe for our American friends, you could let them know what's average rent in Calgary right now.
Your average one-bedroom apartment, let's say about 900 square feet, you're looking anywhere from $1,200 to $1,500 a month.
Yeah, $1,200 to $1,500 a month, right? So yeah, I mean, here in London, Ontario, a lot of places right now, rent is like $1,000 a month for a one-bedroom apartment as well, and climbing. So I don't think people understand to a certain degree the difference in wages as well, right? But anyway, continue.
All right, so these guys, you know, they're going into work now. People are like, well, they knew what they signed up for. Fuck no, they didn't. They signed up to fucking stock shelves and take money, and all of a sudden you got a pandemic fucking aching to fucking the stand, Captain Trips fucking rolling through the goddamn world, and they're like, shit, I still got to go to fucking work. Now, okay, in Canada, not so much a big thing because, you know, we have socialized healthcare, which is a great thing. I love fucking not paying when I go to see the doctor. But I'm imagining down south, okay, so your average retail freaking grocery store worker, how's his health coverage? That extra couple bucks an hour when he gets sick, not if, when, probably going to help with those medical bills that are going to cripple him and probably even bankrupt anyways.
Yeah, and well, that's that's the fun part about the Americans too, right? Is that when they get sick, if one of us gets coronavirus, right? We already paid our taxes, so you know we'll just crawl into a hospital, have them slap us up to a ventilator, and we'll be fine, right? But how much does that cost? Do you think for the fucking Americans? That's like. And I'm going to guess that most grocery store employees don't have the best health care.
Yeah, I'm imagining some of them are probably even uninsured, really, when it comes right down to it. It's like, what's my priority? Roof over my head or the possibility that I may end up getting hurt? I'll pay for the house instead of the health insurance today. Yeah, it sounds like a good idea. But yeah, like the few times I've actually had to visit freaking a doctor down in the States, holy crap, am I glad I've had freaking health insurance to cover that when I was traveling or when I was living down there, because I would not be here today. I'd still be freaking in the poorhouse trying to figure out how the fuck am I paying that hospital.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I appreciate your call here, Canadian BHB. Thanks for talking to me and sharing your opinion.
Thanks for having me, Hoss.
Well, there you go. All right, I think I got one more if I can get them on here. So the author 01, if you're there, you.
All right, I'm here, Buckley.
Oh, how about that? And you don't agree with our last caller there.
No, not.
What? I don't know what you're doing there. I'm getting a lot of bleeps and
Sorry,
bleeps.
I do not agree with the last caller.
All right. So what's your opinion on this? You said that they shouldn't get anything at all right now. You're not even talking about, never mind hazard pay. Like, just fuck them. They should just get what they get.
I think that they should get what they've been getting. I mean, like I was saying in the Discord, also, I'm sorry if I'm not holding my button down all the way, but I make $14 an hour in the Midwest, which is, you know, a decent wage. But between my student loans, my car payment, and my rent, I have like $100 a month for groceries, which is normally fine. Okay, I freaking go to the store today. Buckley TV bags.
Sorry?
Like, do you eat eggs for breakfast? Like, do you buy eggs on a regular basis? Do you know how much they cost?
I do enjoy an egg from time to time. In fact, I had bacon and eggs last night for dinner, yes.
So for 18 eggs, it was $5 for a pack of 18 eggs at the grocery store when I went to the store today.
And where do you live again?
I live in the Midwest.
Right.
And kind of I live in really the central Midwest and have a hub town, if that makes sense. So we're only 25,000, but there's like 80,000 people from around the area that come into Burlington to buy food and stuff. And I'm like, this is the middle of the Midwest. Most people don't make $15 an hour. And even me at $15 an hour can't hardly afford to buy groceries.
So now, what does that have to do, I guess, with the employees, right? So you're saying, because grocery store employees didn't say, I'm going to make those eggs $5.
And I understand that, but at some point, when the cost of employment goes up so much, when the grocery stores are paying so much to pay their employees to stock shelves, to do like important tasks, I realize that they are essential tasks, but when they're paying so much, eventually that's going to trickle down to the consumer, and we already have like massive inflation here in my town. Like I said, 18 eggs is $5. Normally I could get 18 eggs for $2.
Now, do you think that perhaps the grocery store you're going to is possibly like price gouging due to the current thing that's going on here? Because here's the opinion, right, of some, perhaps not all, is that most grocery store chains, I don't know what chains there are in your area, and I don't know if this is a chain that you're talking about or just an individual independent business, but if you look at something like Trader Joe's, for example, or Whole Foods, right, which I believe is Whole Foods owned by Amazon, whichever one it is, these are companies that have a lot of money, right, and they could absorb this amount of money. So it sounds to me what you're probably pissed off at more isn't so much the fact that employees might be making a few extra bucks here, but that now the owners are trying to gouge because they could afford, especially for a couple months, to give these people an extra $2.
Exactly, and my thing is, I'm not so concerned about, like, I think everyone working right now should get hazard pay. I'm a journalist, and I was out this week downtown walking around. Who knows how many people I came into contact with. I think everyone should get hazard pay. But what worries me is when we have all of this massive price gouging to the point where we can't afford to eat. And now on top of that, like, we don't have a Trader Joe's here. We have like a Walmart, an Aldi, a Hy-Vee, and a Fairway. And these aren't Trader Joe's or whatever. Like, I think Walmart's profit margins are something like 1% or less, isn't it?
I don't know, but I'm sure it's bullshit, right? Like, Walmart's not just making 1%.
But my thing is, I worry about, are they going to eat that? Because if they step up and they're like, we're going to do this for our employees, and they eat that, I think that's great. But if it's something that the government's like, you have to do this, or if it's something that's going to make prices go up, that's just going to hurt everybody, including the employees. Because if you get an extra $2 an hour, but now your eggs that you eat, that you and your family of four eat every single day, are $4 more expensive than they are normally, you know, that money doesn't go that far.
All right, well, fair enough. I think that, yes, perhaps that you're probably pissed off at the wrong people, and it sounds like whoever the fuck is running the grocery store you're at is definitely profiteering over the current situation, and they probably shouldn't be. And I don't know if there are any laws in your state or city, or sorry, your state or the country that, you know, can help you there, but it definitely sounds like you're getting fucked over, and that it would have nothing to do with the extra $2 an hour. It's that they know they can fuck you over on eggs right now.
Fair enough. And I'm willing to admit that maybe I'm wrong. I just worry about, like I said, there are so many people, like, we live in a manufacturing heavy town, and a lot of the factories, mostly because of the unions, have just shut down. So now half the town doesn't have work as it is. And then I worry about adding that extra barrier of the extra money.
All right, fair enough. Well, thanks for your call. I'm just going to boot them now. So, that I think we'll leave her there. You know, we've heard from both sides, and I think that means it's now time for a little Q&A Russian roulette, right? So here's what I want you guys to do. I wish I could just empty out the fucking lobby right now. I wonder if I can. I can't. All right, so once again, we are live right now on YouTube, and what we're going to do... Oh, first of all, while I'm at it, I might as well say hi to the generous Patreon supporters again while we're doing this. But what I want you guys to do who are in the Discord, it's Q&A Russian roulette time. So in this sort of feature, what I do is I'm just going to start taking some people at random from the lobby. So have a fucking question ready if you're in the lobby. If you have no interest in participating in this, or you don't have a question for me, then you don't give a fuck, then please get out of the fucking lobby right now, okay? So that's what I would like you to do. Once again, a few more of my generous supporters here on Patreon. You can support me at patreon.com/doseofbuckley. This is the reason that these guys are all the reason that I've been able to do this live show for as many weeks as I've been doing it, being able to provide you guys the extra content, and or maybe even just being able to come back in general, right? So again, thank you to all of these people who are helping me out on Patreon. So once again, it is Q&A Russian roulette time, and I've got some people here who have questions for me apparently. So we'll take on Lover Rat, because we'll take a Patreon call here first. So Lover Rat 222 apparently has a question. Lover Rat 222, do you have a question? And possibly is your question about how to make your microphone work? Because this ain't fucking tech support, and I cannot hear you. Oh, I thought I heard something.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Lover Rat 222, what is up?
Hey, what's up? My question is, do you have like an embarrassing story or like something awkward you did recently, something that kind of makes you cringe and stay up at...
An awkward story, something embarrassing that's happened to me recently? I don't know if fuck, let me think for a second real quick. Something embarrassing. You know, I don't know if this will qualify. I don't know if this is exactly what you're looking for, but obviously I don't have a whole lot going on right now, as everyone else doesn't either. I'm trying to do my best to actually stay in and not fucking, you know, be outside and be doing shit. So I'll tell you two slightly embarrassing stories. One, recent. It's pretty easy. It's just about the YouTube video I did, I think was last week's video, which was about what the fuck was last week's video about? Now, this is embarrassing right here, is last week's video, which was about the millennials, right? What millennials are destroying the world, apparently, right? All that kind of shit. And so I fucked up the math on the one part with the savings part where I was talking about how you can't, like, I don't know where the fuck they got that you would make $2 million if you put $800 a week away. And my point still stood, so I'm fine with that, because the whole thing was that if you were making $800, if you're saving $800 every month, and you put that away every month for 40 years, and at 7% interest for those 40 years, you would then be able to get yourself to $2 million or $2.1 million. And I fucked up and I put it to 30 years. Fucking completely just lost 10 years. And so I fucked up. But my point still remained that no one is getting 7% every year. I've been investing now for probably about 10 years. And at no fucking point have I ever got 7% in a single year. So maybe I just suck. That could be me. Maybe I'm just fucking shitty. But that being said, I fucked up the math on that. It was actually still closer to about 1.9 million and not 2.1 when I actually did the math again, but whatever. Okay. So that was an embarrassing one. Another one real quick. It mentions Wendy's. Apparently I go to Wendy's all the time. This is the one I could think of, is that a few years back, pull into the Wendy's drive-thru, and fucking all of a sudden these people on bikes, just fucking like two people on bike come over me and they're like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck? You just about hit me. And I didn't realize, but as I pulled in, I'm just fucking off in my own world. I probably shouldn't be able to drive. But anyway, I fucking like nearly took out these two people. Now, this being said, they were on a sidewalk. You're not allowed to fucking ride your bike on the sidewalk here in London, Ontario. As far as I know, nowhere in Ontario. But anyway, they were on the sidewalk and I fucking pulled in and I nearly fucking sideswiped them and nearly killed someone. That's cool. And so anyway, they go, oh, what the fuck? What the fuck? And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. And in Canada, you just say you're sorry. And even if you almost murdered someone, it's fine. So that, I guess, hopefully answers your question.
Yeah, those were great. Thanks.
It didn't sound great, but anyway. All right, well, let's take some more questions before we end these things. So, who else have we got? This is, let's try this one, I guess. They have a quick question. In my experiences, people who say they have quick questions don't have quick questions. So, are you there, Arcania? Are you there? And do you have a question for me? This is not very quick. That's for sure. All right. You got 3, 2, 1. All right. Never mind. Hey, let's try Beep Boop again. So earlier in the night, we tried to talk to Beep Boop. All right. Never mind. Hey, let's try Beep Boop again. So earlier. Yeah. So we're having the same problem, but Beep Boop, can you
hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me right now?
I can hear you very slightly.
Well, that's close enough. Hey, all I can hear is you and your Animal Crossing sounds. Are you having
Will you
fun?
turn the fucking Animal Crossing sounds off?
Oh, you're not playing. That's well, they need the sounds to be able to fish. So, that sounds like you broke it. But anyway, Beep Boop, what's your question for me?
I want to know if you could pick any extra body part, what would you pick?
If I could pick any extra body part, what I would
to have
pick.
An extra body part.
Now, so the question, because actually, did you like recently watch Family Feud Canada?
No, my husband's been wondering this for like the last couple episodes. So
your husband has been wondering for the last couple episodes what I would want an extra body part of.
Yes.
Okay. So this is the clarification I need. Is this body part like an extra, like I have to fucking have this thing on me, like now I'm a freak, sorry to freaks, or is this that like it's in storage so when I need it, I get to put it on?
All the time. I say all the time. Let's do that.
Say all the time. Jesus Christ, then. I'm going to go with an extra fucking, I don't know, an extra dick. How about that?
I got a feeling that was going to be the answer, but that's fair enough.
2 dicks now. That way, if one gets severed, someone fucking Lorena Bobbits me, well, I got an extra one to slap on there. I don't know. Or maybe an extra eye, because if you got an extra one that doesn't get fucking gouged, if one gets gouged out, now you still got 2. That seems like good for depth perception. But I don't know what 3 eyes would do with fucking depth perception. Would that really, would that make it better?
The third eye?
Where would I put it? I guess it would probably just go right into my forehead.
There you go.
Yeah, then I look like some sort of, I don't know, deity, I guess. I don't know.
Well, thank you for answering my question.
All right, that was Beep Boop who finally got on in there. Someone says they have a question about Canada. All right. Arfid, are you there?
Hello.
Arfid, can I get you to mute me on the YouTube there? They have a question about... There we go. Thank you.
Hello. Can you hear me?
I can. So you have a
question.
Oh my god.
I've been watching you since like 7th grade. Oh my god.
Well, and 2 years later, here you are.
No, just my mom's in the background. Sorry. So
hi, Mom.
So my question was, I'm going to university next year, in Canada. Well, this fall. Okay. And is there anything about Canada I should know about? I'm from the U.S.
You're from the U.S.
So is there anything? Yeah.
Well, it's pretty much the same, except with fewer murders.
Okay. Is there anything I should know about, like about the culture, to not like offend the Canadians or like something?
Not really. Canada is really United States Junior in a lot of ways, right? So it's not really all that different in terms of culture, in terms of what you can and can't say, or anything like that.
Okay, I see. Oh my god, I'm so happy you chose me.
Well, welcome. Where are you going to be in Canada? Where do you think you're going to be in Canada?
I'm committed to University of Toronto.
U of T, yeah. So you'll be right. You'll be 2 hours down the road from your old pal Buckley.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
Yeah, I'm not coming to see you or anything, but just so you know.
I know.
All right. Well, thanks, Arfid.
Okay, thank you.
All right. I'll take a couple more. Maisie's got a question. Maisie, are you there? Do you have a question? I don't think you're there.
Hello?
Oh, hey, there you are.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Maisie. What's up?
I'm good. How are you?
Surviving. So you got a question for some Russian Roulette Q&A.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
What is the first thing that you were going to do when you were out of quarantine or self-isolation or whatever you're doing at the moment?
What's the first thing that I'll do? The boring answer is probably go throw some axes, because axe throwing has now been shut down for like a month, and I haven't had a chance to. I haven't thrown a sharp object in about a month now. The funnier answer, I guess, would be I'm just gonna run into the middle of the street and just start fucking jerking off, because like, when am I, now I don't have the chance, although maybe now is the best chance to do it because the streets should be relatively empty.
I mean, society's already fallen apart. Might as well jack off in the middle of a street.
Right? Might as well. So, so that's probably, though, the more boring answer is probably the more likely answer. I'm just going to fucking go and finally throw some axes, have a drink, and enjoy myself again that way.
Great. Have fun.
All right. Thanks, Maisie. And, all right, what else we got here? I'll try this one. Behead Or, whose mic is currently muted, but maybe can hear me. Behead Or, you said you have a question.
Yeah, that's me.
Hey, what's up? What's the question? Oh, now you're muted again.
Sorry. I wanted to ask, between a fight for $100 million, between Prime Tyson or Fury, who would you rather get knocked the fuck out by?
Oh, okay, so I get $100 million, and first of all, now I used to box. Not that this is going to matter at all.
Yeah. No, that's exactly why I asked you.
Okay, not going to matter at all against either of those two men who outweigh me by, in both cases, well over 100 pounds, and both obviously much more talented and much more experienced than me. So the question, I would just say Tyson, just because, assuming that I live and I'm not a vegetable, that to me is a cooler story to be able to say that Prime Tyson knocked me out, whereas I don't really care. You're talking about Tyson Fury, right?
Yeah. I actually forgot his first name.
I don't care about any of these modern fighters, but if Mike Tyson, if I had a story that Mike Tyson fucking, knocked me the fuck out and I got $100 million from it, that's a fucking story. But if someone's just like, oh, Tyson Fury knocked me out, it's like, what, like at the fucking grocery store or what? Like, no, it was a fucking actual boxing match. Oh, okay, cool, I guess.
That'd be a better story if he knocked you the fuck out in front of a Target.
Yeah, that would be a pretty good story too. You're right. So, all right, Beheador, hopefully that answered your question.
Yeah, it did. Thanks, Buckley.
Thank you. And you know what? I would be remiss if we did not take a call from everyone's favorite here at A Dose of Buckley Live. Norbert is back, everyone. Norbert, how you doing?
Hi, Buckley.
What is going on, Norbert?
Well, it's getting hectic. I'm sorry that I was late to this live stream. I'm an essential worker, so they needed me at the grocery store.
Holy God, they called you an essential worker, eh?
Yeah, because people are, I guess, panic shopping.
Yeah, fuck me. The fate of the world is in Norbert's hands, everyone.
Oh yeah, the world's in my hands, everyone. So In fact, I just learned today that I live in Thunder Bay, Ontario. So I live in Ontario just like you. But I live in Thunder Bay.
This explains everything. I didn't know
anyway,
that. Okay.
Thunder Bay just had its first confirmed case of the coronavirus. Someone did get it here in Thunder Bay, so I think people are especially paranoid now.
So that's so now you're on the front lines of that, and because we know that if one is out there, then there's probably more, right? Like, we assume that unless this person who had it somehow is a shut-in that just got back from Wuhan, then they probably have spread it around to some other people so far, right?
I feel bad for whoever caught it. I don't know who they are, but I'm sure they're probably I'm sure they're really depressed now, and I'm sure that nobody wants to be their friend anymore.
No, yeah, I guess not. No one wants to hang out with the fucking lone coronavirus getter in Thunder Bay, Ontario.
So I technically don't have a question for you. I had something else I wanted to say, but it's not really a question. I'm not sure if you'll accept that.
You say whatever you want, Norbert, and then I can cut you off after that. But yeah, what do you got for me?
I want to tell you about a certain artist who I know that you've never talked about on Musical Autopsy or Worst Songs list. Who I'm kind of surprised you haven't yet. And maybe you will in the future. But I'm kind of surprised you haven't talked about this artist because I don't know if you watch any other music channels on YouTube, but a lot of them hate this artist. So I've been teasing this in the Discord server for about a week now, but
this is the fucking clickbait of calls here, man. Who are you talking about?
JR.
I don't know who that is. JR.
AJR. I mean, I'm sure you've heard some of their songs.
AJR, yes. You know, in fact, maybe I'll do it for it's kind of a tough one to do as a Musical Autopsy cold case. I've been teasing this idea for a little while, but AJR is, I thought about doing their song, what's the, like, 100 Bad Days?
100 Bad Days, yeah.
Yeah, so that is a song that's pretty stupid, and I've got a whole bunch of things about that to say, but I never got around to it. That came out while I was in my self-imposed, whatever you want to call it, while I was on my year and a half long vacation.
And the reason why I'm surprised you haven't talked about them yet is because their music it's really up your alley in terms of stuff that you talk about on Musical Autopsies and Worst Songs list. Like, I mean, 100 Bad Days, that is a song that you would put. I think you should have given the award for the most annoying production to 100 Bad Days for that like annoying trumpet on the bridge.
Right, and the various vocal effects where they pitch their voices both deep and high, I guess.
I don't know if you watch any other. I know you probably don't, but if you've seen any other music channels on YouTube, like a lot of them hate AJR. Like honestly, I think AJR is more hated now than Nickelback is.
I guess I maybe I'm not watching the same channels that you are, which I'm sure I'm not. But
Mark from Spectrum Pulse, he said that the Click, which is their 2017 album, he said that he said it was the worst album of the entire 2010s decade, and it was the worst album that he'd ever reviewed on his entire channel. And John from ARTV, he said the Neo Theater that's the album that what Neo Theater is the album that on the 100 Bad Days was on. He said that was the worst album of 2019. He said it was one of the worst albums of the 2010s decade. So yeah, a lot of them hate AJR. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering here. I'm kind of nervous right now because I'm talking to you.
Yeah, it's a pretty. You talked to me on the first stream too. You don't have to be nervous anymore, man. I mean, I'm still gonna make fun of you, but you don't have to be nervous to talk to me now. So I am gonna wrap this up here, but yes, I don't think that AJR is as well known as Nickelback was in their prime, and I can't imagine that they're really that more hated. We'll say per capita, if that makes any sense. But that being said, you know what? I have heard of them, and perhaps I may do a Musical Autopsy on them someday.
Just released a new song in February called "Bang." So So maybe that could be the next one that you take down to the musical morgue.
Perhaps. All right. Well, Norbert, appreciate it.
And by the way, I'm sorry that I stutter. Everyone, I guess I'm just a little nervous, and I also talk really fast. So I'm sorry about my stuttering. Feel free to roast me in the comments for it. But yeah, I'm sorry about my stuttering. I'm really sorry about that. But
hey, you know whatever. That's the only thing about your personality that you really don't have to apologize for. Okay.
Okay.
All right, Norbert. Well, thanks for the call. I'm sure the pleasure was all yours. So, anyway, that I think is probably going to wrap her up. It is, again, about 20 minutes past when I said I was going to try and end these things. What I'll end up doing for those of you who are in the, who are still in the chat here, I'll just hang out probably in Discord and maybe answer some questions via text or something like that. But we are going to wrap the stream up here. It has been a Dose of Buckley live on Discord. Once again, I do appreciate all of you who have been supporting me through Discord at Patreon at patreon.com/Dose of Buckley. Thank you again for doing that. But we are going to say goodbye to you guys tonight, and we are going to do this again as we do every Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. I believe that's 4 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, if you can figure that one out. And wherever the hell you are, again, try and figure it out and join us next week. Thanks, everyone, for watching. And again, Musical Autopsy this Saturday about 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to upload that for you guys. Brand new Musical Autopsy. Going to do an Advice No One Asked For next week. Big fucking sneak preview for you there, I guess. But anyway, brand new Advice No One Asked For. Hasn't been back since I brought the channel back. So hopefully you'll get a chance to watch that as well. And again, new live show Friday night, next Friday. Thanks for watching.